program as we did last year. These initiatives and the reallocation of existing resources aim to address the uptick in violent crime the City of Oakland has historically seen over the summer months. As always, our main goal is to keep our community safe through high visibility, proactive policing, and community engagement and effective incident response. We will continue to leverage our ceasefire crime fighting plan, a proven strategy that has successfully reduced homicides and non-fatal shootings throughout the City of Oakland. Officers assigned to our special resource section will supplement and work with our ceasefire team to provide this added safety coverage over a 7-day period throughout the summer. Existing foot patrol officers will augment our patrol division to assist in response to reports of violent and property crimes while enhancing visibility in our business districts. Our vice unit will conduct undercover operations and in the patrol division to assist in the response our vice unit will conduct undercover operations and long-term investigations to arrest individuals driving the demand for human traffic in Oakland. OPD's traffic unit will continue to collaborate with California Highway Patrol to provide increased police presence in high-risk areas known for injuries and crime. Our traffic unit will continue to coordinate with Alameda County Sheriff's Office as well in conducting DUI enforcement and sideshow mitigating operations throughout the town. Finally, I want to communicate this to our community. Your Oakland Police Department and the men and women who make up this department will continue to provide you with the best level of police service we're able to provide. We want everyone to enjoy what Oakland has to offer in the area of arts, entertainment, and dining. And we have to work together to change the narrative that has plagued our town for too long. Oakland urges everyone to join us in this effort in reporting criminal activity and being a good witness. I'm going to turn it over to Patrol Deputy Chief Anthony Tedesco, who's going to go into some additional details in regards to the summer safety plan.
Good morning. I'm Deputy Chief Anthony Tedesco. I'm going to share details about the plan for the summer, but I'd like to highlight the tremendous progress that has been made so far this year. Crime is down in nearly all categories, including significant decreases in shootings and homicides, and a 41% decrease in robberies. These decreases are on top of those that we saw in 2024, and I want to thank the hard-working members of our staff for their dedication. OPD and our partners will continue to work together closely in order to keep this momentum going. Our special resources teams, ceasefire, and traffic enforcement officers will operate alongside the Real-Time Operations Center, the Crime Gun Intelligence Center to employ data-driven, targeted enforcement in collaboration with partners to deploy resources throughout the city. As stated by the Chief, we will work with the U.S. Marshals, California Highway Patrol, and local law enforcement partners. Combined efforts of all of these teams will cover 7 days a week to assure that community members can live, work, and play without fear of crime. For those listening that would cause our community harm, know that we are ready and that you will be held accountable. With that, I'll turn it over for plans for Juneteenth to Lieutenant Vi.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Michael Valle. I will be going over the Juneteenth operation and the holiday. So, as many of you know, Juneteenth is a federally recognized, national recognized holiday, and it's a time for our citizens and African American culture, history, and society to celebrate. And we're going to facilitate that here at the City of Oakland. So traditionally, the gathering has been at Lake Merritt. That's been the area where people come to celebrate around Lake Merritt. Draws large crowds in the past, as well as mainly peaceful, but later in the evening it has become problematic for the residents and the people that are attending the gathering. So in last year, 2024, we had approximately 5,000 people, an estimated amount that came to Lake Merritt for the Juneteenth celebration holiday. Later in the evening, it resulted in gun violence between several groups, and there was approximately 16 people that were attending that were involved that sustained gunshot wounds on that evening. So as far as our the issues that we've gotten at Lake Merritt is we have unpermitted vendors that come to the lake to sell cannabis, alcohol, and food. It's been a lot of complaints from loud music to traffic congestion throughout the lake, making it difficult for the residents to get around and people visiting the city as well. So on June 19th, we are going to be working in collaboration with all of our city partners and facilitate public safety efforts around Lake Merritt. So our mission is to uphold the Constitution, the constitutional rights for the people attending, protecting life, protecting property, as well as enforcing laws, both local and state laws. We're also going to be in compliance with our policies as well. Due to the past gun violence that's occurred, we will have a significant increase in personnel around Lake Merritt, and we will be prepared to respond and take immediate action on anybody that commits any type of criminal activity. All violations of the Oakland Municipal Code, parking regulations, as well as local and state laws will be enforced. Officers will be prepared to issue citations and make arrests when necessary. So the goal is basically to provide a safe holiday and make it a family-friendly environment for all attendees. Going over to the traffic and potential closures that we're going to have around the lake. There will be some closures around Lake Merritt, so we ask the residents to be prepared for that day, June 19th, the entire day, to be prepared to make arrangements because there will be more than likely some traffic restrictions around Lake Merritt. So in closing, the Oakland Police Department would just like to honor Juneteenth, and we want to be able to facilitate a happy, friendly gathering and make it peaceful, and hopefully just keep everything safe and keep all of our attendees safe. And that's all I have in closing, and I'm going to be turning it over to Chief Geary.
Good morning. I'm here to discuss the unacceptable behavior that followed the peaceful protest, the Bay Stands with LA, that occurred on Tuesday in our Fruitvale district. Protest started at 6 p.m., ended at 8 p.m. I want to point out that the volunteers and organizers of the protests did an excellent job keeping peace, spreading the message of peace. It was well attended. There were no issues with the protest. The protest ended and the attendees left. Approximately 40 minutes later, elements of the sideshow descended upon the 3400 block of International. There was an accident involving multiple vehicles. An Oakland police officer arrived on scene to address the accident and immediately started having rocks thrown at them. The vehicle sustained damage to the windshield. The officer had to move back out of the area until additional resources could arrive so the officer could safely address the situation, at which point one of the vehicles was set on fire. Additional police officers arrived. The crowd dispersed. The routes were open for emergency vehicles. The Oakland Police Department escorted the Oakland Fire Department in and extinguished the fire. Officers as well as additional staff remained in the area, at which point a crowd of approximately 100 people materialized and continued to do bad things. At one point, entry was forced into a shoe store. About 30 people entered the store, ages ranging from 12 to the early 40s. Officers arrived on scene. People were running in different directions. One individual was stopped by the police. He violently resisted. He was taken into custody, and he was arrested for burglary, possession of stolen material, and possession of burglary tools. It was also discovered that he had several felony warrants for his arrest. That individual has since been charged by the district attorney's office. His name is Joby Morton, 31 years old, from Oakland. He was charged for possession of burglary tools, possession of stolen property, and committing a crime while out on bail. These are charges in addition to his felony warrants. It should be noted that this investigation continues. We're utilizing hundreds of video clips, witnesses, and additional technology. We already have 4 Ramey warrants for arrests of people that have committed similar crimes in that area. And I just want to let everyone know, if you commit crimes in our community, you will be held accountable, just like Deputy Chief Tedesco said. And I just want to point out that that incident was not related or associated to the peaceful protest. It occurred long after the attendees left. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Mitchell.
We're going to open up for questions, see if you guys have any questions for us.
Chief, how would you address the outrage and sadness over deadly and injury crashes after the outside agency, CHP, in recent months? And where are we with tinkering of the OPD pursuit policy? Obviously, CHP is a different agency, but these crashes are involving our community. How would you address all of the sadness and anger?
Yeah, I'll start off by saying, you know, it's deeply saddening when we lose any resident of our city. And as you know, that I believe it's 3 weeks ago at this point that I turned in my recommended, you know, I was requested to provide a recommendation in regards to proposed changes to the policy. I provided those recommended changes to the Police Commission for their review and consideration, and they are reviewing those at this point in time. We know that policing activity is everything that we do from a policing standpoint poses a high risk to our community, and we have to balance that, and that's what we're trying to do, and that's what my proposed changes to our current policy do, is to provide that balance of safety to our community, but also provide security to the residents of our community regarding criminal activity. So I believe that the proposal that I presented to the Police Commission for review and consideration balances that, and hope that they take it into consideration and make a decision on its own.
Are there any other major factors other than, let's say, having officers not having to tell their supervisors if they pursue those over 50 miles an hour? Are there any other additional recommendations you have made?
No, the ones that I went over at the Police Commission were the only ones that I am putting forward. And I think it's important for our community to understand that the 19 risk factors remain in place. Speed is always a consideration in regards to the initiation and continuation of pursuits. The proposal that I put forward was taking out that mandatory automatic, it shuts down. That communication between the officer and the supervisor will continue to happen. That does not go away.
In terms of this weekend, we know that more protests are planned. How do you guys plan to prepare for those? Are you doing additional staffing? And in light of what happened after the peaceful protest earlier this week, are you guys making any changes?
Yeah, just like Assistant Chief Beard alluded to, we have several planned protests, or planned marches, I should say, for the rest of this week, and we have a big one planned for that's planned for this weekend. We continue to coordinate with the organizers of these protests. We're going to give people the space to exercise their constitutional right, their First Amendment right to peacefully protest, but we're not going to sit by and let people destroy businesses that families have, you know, spent decades putting together, and that can be ruined in one night. We're going to have the resources in place. We have talked about it throughout this week with everything that's going on across the nation to make sure that, one, we provide the space for peaceful protests, but we're also not going to just allow the people that want to come into our community that are not part of our community to come in and cause damage to our homes.
And Chief, I know this is like a double-edged sword. Let's just say there's another peaceful protest, and then we have stragglers violently going in and looting. You and I know that's a property crime. Let's say your officers are right there. I just want to clarify. They take off in the car of that guy. You guys still cannot pursue property crime suspects, right?
Yeah, the policy does not allow for us to pursue for certain property crimes, but if they're armed or if they hit one of the other factors that allow us to pursue, we will do that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I think an important thing to know is we do have technology throughout this city. We have flock cameras. We are utilizing undercover assets. We have the real-time operations center that's coordinating all of that. We will have a helicopter air support. So if it does fall within that realm where that we cannot pursue, It doesn't mean that we're not going to catch you. In all likelihood, you will get arrested. We're going to leverage the technology to the best that we can, and we will follow up. If we don't get you that night, we'll come to your house. We're going to come to where you're at, and we're going to arrest you with the warrants, just like we have plans to arrest people with warrants that were out there last night or on Tuesday night. So we will pursue if it's within our policy, and if we can't pursue, we will see you later.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.